Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I'm speaking with Tyse. He has just released two fantastic new tracks called Second Place and Invincible. I am super excited to talk all about them, and I want to thank you so much for coming on today. How are you? How are you doing?
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. And of course, as we are talking, I'm going to get lots of notifications coming through.
Well,
That's
you're a
all, that's not going
popular guy.
to.
So,
Listen, thank you so much for having me on. I want to just say you're doing an awesome job. I was like going through a lot of your work, and I got to say what you're doing is amazing. And I'm really glad that you launched this platform for yourself and for artists. It's fantastic. So keep it up.
thank you so much. That means more than you know. Like, actually, it's pretty
My pleasure.
insular over here with a remote team and this and that. So, thank you for the
Yeah.
kind words.
Yeah.
Uh,
Absolutely.
I want to keep this about you because you've got new music and it needs to get heard. There's
Yeah.
two new singles, one which is super recent as of last night called Invincible. First
Yes.
thing that I really want to cover is what are these songs about separately? Are they a shared experience? Are they individual stories? I'd love a breakdown of what it's all about.
Sure. Well, if okay, well, second place actually is it's a pretty cliche, relationship. Don't want to be in second place. Kind of being, we always hear about the side chick, but
Yeah.
we forget sometimes dudes are the side dudes, I guess. So
Oh,
in this,
yeah.
yeah. So in this scenario, I was, basically writing about the perspective of, I don't want to be in second place. I just want to, I want to be in first place, and
Yep.
so you got to kind of tell the dude you're with, bye bye. But so we, when I say we, the producer and I and a co-writer, we kind of, you know, put that song together. I had the idea of, second place. I don't want to be a substitute lover. Like that's what kind of came to my mind when I heard the rhythm and the beat. So that's the melody that instantaneously came to my mind, and then that kind of just built from there. So that's what second place is about. So it's a little different than a lot of the music that I typically do as an artist, but it's not far fetched for me as a songwriter because I tend to write uh, different genres than what I sing. So if that makes sense. So
Oh, it
I
totally
write,
makes sense.
yeah, different types of genres, but as a performer, I sing one style. But I wanted to do, I wanted to release the reggae because it was completely different, completely out of my comfort zone. So that's why
Yeah.
I released second place. Yeah, and Invincible, which just came out last night midnight with Briz, who's a Toronto rapper. We did that record, and it was just so fitting for what's going on in the world right now. And we thought it'd be perfect to release and get the message out there. Just still being mindful to remember, that to stay focused on your goals and that you can do what you want to do. Keep your mind at it. You can be invincible, and don't let the distraction of what's going on in the world get in the way of that. So it was fitting, and it's actually one of my favorite records. Vocally, it's one of my favorite records as well. So that kind of sums up, you know, what those two songs are about.
I appreciate the background. I also want
Yeah.
to know a little bit about who Briz is. Like, is this someone that you've collaborated with in the past? What's your guys' relationship and like how did you bring him onto
Uh,
this new song?
yeah. Dude, I don't even know how we connected. I
All right.
Really strange. It was, well, I'm sure we probably met on like through Facebook or some social media platform like many years ago. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So, like a lot of artistic relationships happen. Briz is a Toronto rapper. He's very talented, and he also did the artwork for the single.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
yeah, so he's very talented. So he did the artwork. He also collaborated with the producer to create
Yeah.
the production. And it was actually a really great experience in the studio. It was really lit. That's what I'll say. It was really lit.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
sure
it was
of
a
it.
lot of fun nights recording that song. So very talented. So yeah, make sure he's on Spotify as well. So make sure you check him out. Briz,
Yeah.
great hip hop artist. Yeah, from Toronto. Yeah.
Very cool. It's something that you kind of just mentioned, but I'd like to dive a little bit deeper into
Yeah.
the genres of these songs. So obviously the message is one thing, the sound is another thing, the style is another thing. Like there's so many elements that come into music. Do you try to pair the sound with the message of the song, or does it kind of just spontaneously happen like we want to go in a reggae route or we want to go traditional hip hop?
That's a very good question. I'm kind of glad you asked that because if you had a chance to go on my Spotify page, you'll notice in the bio the message of essentially what I was trying to bring out there, which is,
Right.
if why is it that consumers can listen to so many different types of music, but
Yeah.
artists are so restricted to doing one genre, or they're put into this box like you're R&B and that's what you're going to do, and you're pop and that's what you're going to do, and you're rock and that's what you're going to do, and because I write different genres of music from dance to R&B to pop to gospel to
Yeah.
reggae, I didn't even know where I fit as an artist, but I know I love all genres of music. So I said to myself, like, well, I have all these songs. Why don't I just release a whole bunch of different songs from different genres,
There you
see where
go.
they go, see what lands, see
Yep.
what people resonate with, and then just kind of build from that? Because I'm not really tied to any obligations or
No,
any
man.
contractual agreements where I have to stay in a specific genre. So I said, you know what? I'm going to release a pop dance song, cheesy, corny pop song. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna release an R&B
Yeah,
old
man.
school 2000 vibe. Did that, and then of course with the reggae and now with Invincible. So I really just wanted to show that diversity, and that it's okay to be eclectic as an artist.
Absolutely. No, and I'm so happy that you just said it and worded it the way you did. I say this all the time. Like, as an independent artist, for someone that doesn't have strings attached, and for someone that's also, you're the one putting in the work, like you're putting in the effort and the
Yeah,
time and the money into making music. If
yeah,
you're not happy with the end product, then like what's the point? You know what I mean?
right,
If you're making
exactly.
music for other people, then it takes the fun out of making music, and you should be able
Yeah,
to make whatever you want. And if you want to hop from classical music all the way to like trap hip hop, like you can do whatever you want if it makes you happy. And
absolutely.
it also, on another hand, it attracts so many different listeners. If you're just making country music, for example, chances are that's the audience you've chosen.
Right,
But if one
exactly.
person listens to that and enjoys reggae for whatever reason, and then boom,
Right.
they found you and they
Yeah.
can explore. I love it, man.
Yeah, and
Keep
that's
exploring.
what's thank you. And that's what's great because now even when my songs get on playlists, I know that they're not going to put the R&B song with the reggae playlist.
Sure.
But why not put myself in a reggae playlist and let's be seen and heard? Because at least that
Yeah.
listener is going to be like, oh, well, let me see what this guy's about. Oh, wait a minute, this is not. Is this the same artist? Because I just heard a reggae song and now I'm hearing R&B. So
Right.
you know what I mean? Whether it's I would like to swear.
Oh yeah, you could. Yeah, there's no
No.
rules.
Whether it's a mind fuck or whether it's just you
Yeah,
being introduced to a new artist or new music, by all means, it did its purpose, and that's what I wanted to do. So
totally.
why not? Yeah.
Like, do you find that your musical inspirations are as vast as the music you're making, or you do you stick to like one, specific type of music you listen to normally?
As far as what I listen to, it's pretty
Yeah,
eclectic. Like growing
yeah.
up, I listened to like alternative. I listened to the Cranberries, Green
Oh,
Day.
nice.
Yeah, like it's completely off the spectrum. And then I grew up in church, so I obviously my roots are gospel.
Sure.
So gospel, and then getting into R&B and pop, and I listened to alternative, and so I really listen to all kinds of different music. If I had to say where does my ear gravitate to the most, I would probably say like R&B, pop, gospel, because I'm really all about vocals and harmonies and
Sure.
listening to like ad libs and things like that, and the songwriting aspect of it. So I would say that's where technically, like I think more so that's where my ear goes. Yeah.
Makes sense. That makes sense. And so now that you've gone through this process multiple times of taking an idea for a song and doing the writing, recording, producing, all the way to clicking submit. Is there something that you look forward to the most when you're starting out on a new song? Like throughout the entire process, the thing that kind of like it's just like, yes, I get to do this again.
Yeah. Oh man, I think there's so many components and there's so many layers to that. I really like the studio process.
Mm,
but I don't, because I feel like there's a lot of pressure to get songs done in a certain time, because it's by the hour, so you got to get it, you got to cut down.
That
So
makes
as a singer, it's annoying in that regard, because you have to, like your pitch, and you've got to stay on key and things like that, and you make sure that the consistency and the delivery is the same as when you took the take last night.
yeah.
So that part can be stressful, but at the same time fun, because you can really play with different sounds and ideas. Because even though you might have an idea of how you want the song to sound when you go in, it's a totally different vibe when you're in there, because now the producer or the engineer is throwing ideas and you're like, oh, and now you just snowballed a whole different arrangement. You know what I mean? And now you're spending 2 hours reconstructing the whole song.
I understand.
Um, so there's the blessing and the curse with that. And then as far as um the second probably the second thing I enjoy most is probably when you said, like, we hit the send and then just waiting for people's response or people's reactions to the music. Um because I do have a close circle of friends who are very honest with me about whether it's a yay or an A.
Those are the best
Um
friends to have, because you don't want
yeah.
yes men that are going to lie to your
Oh,
face.
dude, and I'm just as like aware of, I always say, like, a lot of people are like, oh, I love your song, Let's Dance. It's a cheesy pop dance song. It's so
Sure.
simple, but it's like a bop, you know what I mean? Like, if you
Yeah,
listen to the vocals and you listen to the into the backgrounds, you'll hear
sure.
some really cool ad libs, you know what I mean? And that's kind of what I enjoyed most about that song. But I'm 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 going off direction here. But
It's okay.
the point I'm trying to the point I'm trying to make is I enjoy people's reaction. So it would be the studio and then the release. I think for me is what gives me the adrenaline. Yeah,
Totally.
is what I look
Yeah.
forward to. Yeah.
Like, I'll give you my perspective as someone who has never been in a music studio and has never recorded music. I feel like there's no better feeling than feeling like, oh, I'm an artist. You know what I mean? Because especially, well, I mean, you think about it, like,
It's cool.
think about the last year and a half, 2 years of so many people who have decided to make music for the first time, who have
Right.
only done it in their bedrooms or in a friend's
Right.
garage or whatever the hell. And
Right.
and then you actually get to a studio and you're like, oh, this is very real. And I'm like, I got to take this seriously. I am a
Yeah.
musician now. I am an
I'm
esteemed
an artist.
person.
I've arrived.
I have arrived, even though, yeah, it's a lot of pressure, I'm sure, because, yeah, you are paying by the hour and you want to get it right and not screw it up. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's awesome. That would be my choice. So I'm glad that you chose that for the for the thing.
Do you
Um,
play? Do you play instruments?
oh,
Do you?
very passively. I've been
Yeah,
playing guitar since I was like 11 or 12, but
that's awesome.
more just for fun rather than like
Yeah,
band type stuff. But
right. Yeah,
yeah,
maybe songwriting.
who
Take a crack
knows?
at it.
Maybe, or
Who
you know what?
knows?
I prefer to be on this side of the camera, probing artists for their
Artists getting
questions. But
inspired, living vicariously through them.
exactly, exactly.
Well, I mean, everybody has a niche and a lane, and I think what you're doing is great. Like I said, when I saw what you're doing, it's like, we need more of this. We need more platforms like this, because a
Thank
lot of
you.
independent. Yeah, absolutely. Because I've been in the game a long time. I live near trains and airplanes. I don't know if you heard that.
Oh, it's all
Um,
no, it's fine.
so I've been in the game a long time. So navigating the industry, I can't tell you how much what you're doing is needed, and we need more of that. So it's good. I think it's great.
Thank
You
you.
keep doing it. Yeah.
I appreciate it. Are you playing shows, or is that something that's in the future or currently happening?
Yeah, I haven't played shows in a while.
Okay.
I do plan on playing shows. So since I moved to Florida, I had a chance to sing the national anthem at a
Neat.
festival for like thousands of people, which
That's
was
huge.
phenomenal. Yeah, it's been my dream. Like, it's been my dream to sing the national anthem, like, at
Yeah.
a stadium. I mean, this wasn't a stadium, but close enough.
Doesn't matter. It was in
Um,
front of thousands. That's all that really
yeah.
matters.
So once I did that, it really opened the floodgates. Like, doors just started opening, and I was like, "No, I got to put a band together. I got to find musicians.
This is real now. No, I get it.
Shoot, I got to get back to work."
Seriously.
Yeah. So, but it's in the very near future. Absolutely.
Awesome. Awesome, man. I mean, I think again, it goes back to like the genre bending and kind of getting all the different styles in there. But a show for you could bring in a lot of separate people who enjoy separate things, and I
Yeah,
imagine that there would be a real high energy aspect to it, but, it's up to you. It's up to you whatever you
yeah.
wanna do.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, no, my shows are pretty lit. I mean, I haven't done it in a while, but
Sure.
back in my day when I was performing,
Exactly.
I'd have to say my shows were pretty high energy, and I think I could still do it. It's been a while. Like I think it's like riding a bike. I think if anything, I probably would be, even though I haven't done it in a while, but in my mind, I've done it. Does that make sense?
Sure,
Like
yeah,
I
absolutely.
literally perform on stage in my head,
Yep.
and so I think doing that in person, I think it'll just translate into the physical, and then doing it. So yeah, I have no doubt. I think I'm excited. I can't wait.
Nice. Kinda going off of that, do you have, like, a year plan set for yourself? Obviously, we can't predict the future, we don't know what's gonna
Yeah,
happen tomorrow, but any, like, lofty goals that you've set for yourself, either by the end of this year or just, and
yeah,
beyond?
sure. Well, number one is putting a band together. Like I
Good.
said, that's really important to me. That's what I'm currently working on. So
Yeah.
putting that is in my current project right now. Um, Now, with all the singles that I have released thus far, I guess when you kind of compile it together, you could say it's one big mashup of different. It's like almost like a compilation EP.
That's okay.
So I do have a lot of great songs that I've written, um, and some of them I had written for other people that I had in mind, but I may just keep them for myself. And putting the album together, and I actually had the name of the album from, believe it or not, I'd say like maybe 10 years ago. I already knew
Wow.
what I wanted to name my very first album. Um, and then fast forward to where we are today, it kind of still makes sense. Like it hasn't changed.
You don't need to
So
spoil it here, you might wanna keep it to yourself, but
no, I mean, I mean, yes, of course. I mean, I won't speak too much on it, but I mean, I've talked about it in past. But I think I'm going to stick to that name. Who knows if it'll change when I'm done the process of writing and creating, but it
Mhm.
hasn't changed in like 10 years, so I don't see it changing, but we'll see. So yeah, so doing that and then doing the live shows. Seeing as I am in Florida, I would love to do the national anthem at the local stadium here. um, that would be probably my three major goals right now. So yeah, album, live shows, and doing the national anthem at the stadium, and I'm good. I'm good after that.
It sounds completely reasonable. Those
I
are
can
some
retire. I can retire after that. That's fine.
no, 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 no. Those are some attainable goals. I think you've got a
Absolutely.
handle on
Yeah.
it. Um,
Absolutely.
I got a couple more questions for you at this point.
Sure.
Obviously, these singles are fresh out. You've just spent so much time on Invincible, which came out yesterday, but do you have a follow-up plan? Is there anything in the works that we can maybe look forward to?
Mm, yeah. Well, I've been really wanting to create visuals for the songs.
Oh,
I didn't
nice.
necessarily wanted to do like a video of me in it. Like I don't really care to be personally in the music video.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of go more the artistic route and kind of create animation for the videos. But it's been such a challenge to find any animators. So anybody watching this, if you're a video animator, could you please DM me? Find me, DM me,
Sure,
because I
there's
really,
plenty.
yeah, I'm putting it out there in the universe. And no, you're right. There are plenty. It's just I can't seem to find them. Even though I've asked around, I've put posts out. But everything is in good timing. It's all about timing. So I'm in no rush, but I'm in a rush. I would like to get the visuals,
Totally.
sometime soon before the songs kind of outdate themselves, um, and people lose interest. But that's ideally what I like to do with Invincible. Like I said, it is such a great record. Um, it's actually one of my favorite, and I know it's so cliche because as artists we say that about every song that we do. But of all the songs, I would say that one by far for me vocally, and just the whole production as a whole is probably my favorite record.
That's awesome. You should be
Yeah.
proud of every song, but sometimes they're like your babies, and you
Well, you
just want to see
improve,
them.
right? Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
you improve vocally. Like if you hear "Crazy," which is more of a 2000 R&B vibe,
Yeah.
you kind of listen to the evolution of like these different singles. You can hear the vocal differences and all of them. So
Fully
Yeah.
agree. You're always improving, you're always tweaking things, but hopefully always, on the up and up in some regard.
Yes,
I get it.
absolutely.
Got one more for you here. And basically, the
Yeah,
question that I have is for the person that is going to discover you from this, and for the person that's going to listen to your music for the first time, what is an
yeah.
opening message that you'd like to say to them?
Oh gosh. How come we didn't rehearse this before we did this?
Because it just wouldn't be as natural.
No, that's a really good question. You know what? The first thing that comes to my mind instantly, I would say just have an open mind, receive the music. Um, I know it's different for an artist to really release like four different genres of music
Sure.
in like
Yeah.
2 months. You know what I mean? And it's probably unorthodox, and it's probably like not typical. It's not heard of, but hey, I did it. Just have an open mind. And the other thing I want to say is, as you're listening to my music or any other independent artist, please, please, I encourage you to take the time to share, comment, like their work. It may not be your favorite genre of
Totally.
music, but just you clicking that share and tagging somebody else from your friends list might love that
Exactly.
song, love that genre, and it costs you nothing, and it means so much to the artist because it really all we just want to do is be heard and get our music out there.
Amen. I fully
So
agree.
yeah, so even if you don't want to spend the 99 cents, which you kind of technically already are spending it when you're having your Spotify subscription or your Apple
This is
subscription,
true.
stream it. And if you're really not that big on it, at least listen to it and share the music and share the artist to others because that's all we really want. It costs you nothing and it means the world to all of us. So that's what I would say.
True statement, man. I fully agree. Social media has become such a pain in the ass lately.
Yeah,
It really is true. I want to thank you so much for coming on today and giving some fantastic answers. And I also want to plug your music one more time for you. The two
appreciate it.
songs
Thank
that are
you.
out right now are called Second Place and Invincible, but there's so much more music in your discography that is worth checking out. And so obviously we're going to have the links so that people can listen and follow along and share and do all that fun stuff.
Sweet.
Thank you, Tice. This has been great. Thank you so much.
Awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me, man. I hope we
You
get to do
are,
this again.
yeah, absolutely, man. I hope you have an amazing rest of your weekend and I hope to speak soon.
Thank you so much, Austin.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye, guys. Bye, guys. Thank you.